the J-35 and the new global arms race. Welcome back to the channel. For decades, the true elite of aerial combat, the fifth-generation stealth fighter, was a club with a heavily guarded door, primarily held open by the United States with the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. Russia, with the Su-57, made a contentious third member. But now, the game has fundamentally changed. A new contender has stepped into the ring, and it's not just an aircraft. It's a direct strategic challenge to Western military dominance. We're talking about the Shenyang J-35. China isn't just building this jet for itself. They're explicitly building it to sell. And by doing so, Beijing is preparing to redraw the entire map of global military power, offering cutting-edge stealth capabilities to nations that Washington has either ignored or restricted. The fifth-generation benchmark. What is the J-35? At its core, the J-35, developed by the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, is China's second true fifth-generation fighter, a critical step that complements their heavier, air superiority-focused J-20. What does fifth-generation truly mean? It's a combination of four pillars: stealth, low observability design, supercruise, sustained supersonic flight without afterburners, sensor fusion, combining all data into a single, cohesive picture for the pilot, and supermaneuverability. The J-35 aims to tick every one of these boxes. The most critical feature is its stealth. According to Chinese state media, the jet's radar cross-section, or RCS, is roughly the size of a human palm. While analysts debate the exact figure, estimating it may be slightly higher than the F-35's frontal profile, it's a dramatic statement. The airframe utilizes advanced stealth geometry, diverterless supersonic inlets, and serrated panels to scatter radar waves, making it incredibly difficult for older, non-stealth optimized air defense systems to even detect, let alone track. Crucially, the J-35 comes in two distinct variants, underscoring China's massive strategic ambition. 1. The J-35A, the land-based multi-role fighter intended to serve the People's Liberation Army Air Force, and, more importantly, the international export market. 2. The carrier-based variant. This is arguably the most strategically significant, designed for China's next-generation aircraft carriers, specifically the Type 003 Fujian, which uses an electromagnetic catapult system, or EMALS. This Catobar system, catapult-assisted takeoff but arrested recovery, allows the J-35 to launch with a full load of fuel and weapons. This is a dramatic leap in power projection, a capability previously monopolized by the U.S. Navy. The design philosophy: 2 engines versus 1. The moment you place the J-35 next to its American counterpart, the F-35 Lightning II, the most glaring difference is the engine configuration. The J-35 is a twin-engine fighter, whereas the F-35 is a single-engine aircraft. This isn't just a design choice. It reflects entirely different operational philosophies. Twin-engine advantage. For the J-35, the two engines, believed to be the domestically produced WS-19 turbofans, offer engine redundancy, which is a massive safety factor, especially for carrier operations over open water. It also provides greater overall thrust, allowing the J-35 an estimated top speed of up to Mach 2.0, potentially granting it true supercruisability, an area where the F-35 is not optimized. Single-engine advantage. The F-35, in contrast, optimizes its design around its massive single engine for a lower overall weight and, critically, a lower heat signature. A single, more sophisticated exhaust system is easier to cool and manage, giving the F-35 an edge in all-aspect infrared stealth and a marginally smaller overall radar profile. Beyond the engines, the J-35 carries formidable internal weaponry, primarily focused on the PL-15 Beyond Visual Range air-to-air missile. The PL-15 is famed for its estimated 250 to 300 kilometer range, a significant advantage in raw reach over current Western air-to-air missiles like the AAM-120D AMRAAM. However, air combat today is about more than just missile range. It's about who sees first, targets first, and shoots first. And that brings us to the electronics. The F-35 boasts a battle-proven system of sensor fusion, knitting together its N/APG, 81 AESA radar, and the distributed aperture system into a comprehensive 360-degree picture for the pilot. The J-35 employs its own indigenous KLJ-7 AESA radar and a distributed sensor suite, but system integration is still in an emerging stage. It can see far, but the American jet's ability to process, prioritize, and share that data across a network remains the gold standard. The Dubai Playbook, selling stealth to the world. The strategic move that confirms the J-35 is a weapon of diplomacy as much as war was its showcase at the Dubai Air Show. By displaying the J-35A model alongside American and Russian jets, China was not just advertising a product. They were announcing their entry into the elite global arms market. The primary target market is clear: non-Western buyers, particularly in the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. Countries like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have long sought the F-35. Yet Washington consistently stalls or imposes crippling restrictions, driven by concerns over technology security, Israel's qualitative military edge, and political behavior. The U.S. Foreign Military Sales (FMS) process is notoriously slow, restrictive, and comes with heavy political baggage, including rigid end-user agreements and the potential for sanctions. China's pitch is the direct opposite: advanced stealth capability with virtually no political strings attached. Faster delivery. Unlike the F-35, which has a massive backlog, the J-35 promises to be available sooner. Fewer restrictions. Beijing rarely dictates how or where its equipment is used. Affordability. The J-35 is expected to be significantly cheaper than the $80 million plus F-35, making 5th-gen capability accessible to a wider range of nations. The most critical test case is Pakistan, already operating the Chinese-Pakistani JF-17 Thunder and the advanced J-10C fighter. Pakistan is the rumored first international customer for the J-35E export variant. Acquiring a stealth fighter would dramatically alter the military balance in South Asia, forcing a fundamental shift in India's air defense planning. The uncomfortable truth, the remaining unknowns. For all its promise, the J-35 remains an aircraft wrapped in 2 layers of secrecy: Chinese state secrecy and the unavoidable uncertainty that comes with any brand new platform. The key questions holding potential buyers back are: 1. The engine question. China has historically struggled with building reliable, high-performance jet engines. While the WS-19 is a major breakthrough, its long-term reliability, maintenance costs, and performance consistency, especially in the high-heat, high-sand environments of the Middle East, are completely unproven. Engine maintenance in combat aircraft is one of the most expensive and critical aspects of air power. 2. Real-world stealth and reliability. The F-35 stealth coatings and internal systems are combat-proven and refined over 2 decades. Will the J-35's composite radar-absorbent materials, or RAM, hold up to the harsh conditions of constant carrier deck operations or desert airfields? Maintaining the integrity of stealth materials is expensive and complex, and a single poorly maintained panel can compromise the entire jet's low observability. Buyers have to trust China's long-term maintenance and upgrade support, a trust that has been inconsistent in the past. 3. Cybersecurity and integration. The entire F-35 platform is built as a single network system, sometimes described as a flying computer. But this comes at a price. The platform's blueprints were famously compromised by Chinese cyber espionage in the past. Buying the J-35 might open a new channel of data and military intelligence directly back to Beijing, a political risk many sophisticated nations are still wary of taking. Redrawing the global balance of power. The J-35 is more than just a 5th-generation jet. It is a clear inflection point in the global military balance. Challenging the duopoly, it democratizes high-end military technology, providing a viable alternative to the American and Russian options. It will force the U.S. and its allies to rethink their arms export strategies and the political strings they attach to sales. Amplifying Chinese influence. Every J-35 sold is a win for Beijing's global influence. It solidifies its position as a major strategic partner, enhancing its leverage and expanding its sphere of influence, especially across the Middle East and the Belt and Road regions. It's an act of military diplomacy that strengthens alliances and creates strategic dependencies on Chinese military technology, data links, and maintenance support. The Pacific Gambit. For China itself, the J-35 completes the triad of power. With a long-range J-20 for air superiority, the J-35 as a versatile naval and air force workhorse, and the new Catobar carriers, Beijing is rapidly building a force structure capable of challenging the U.S. across the entirety of the Western Pacific. The age of the exclusive Western stealth club is over. The arrival of the Shenyang J-35 is a seismic shift, marking the beginning of a new, highly competitive, and far more complex era of military technology export and geopolitical realignment.
That's all for this update. Thank you so much for watching. If keeping up with the latest in geopolitics and defense equipment is your priority, remember we upload content like this almost every single day. Hit that subscribe button on our news channel so you never miss a deep dive. Until the next video, take care.